What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the LWN Racing YouTube channel. As you can probably tell from the thumbnail, I do have a couple exhaust manifolds to showcase for you on this episode. So I did get my hand back out of the cast. It's probably 95% up and running. It took a little bit longer for me to heal up, a little bit of therapy and whatnot to get my fingers working back to where they're supposed to. But I have been working on my manifold, as you're about to see. I can weld again, thankfully. So yeah, this is not an all-inclusive list. I'm not going to say this is every manifold that's out there available for this motor, but it's a couple of probably the most relevant ones as far as the American market is concerned. But yeah, I'll show you what I got. All right, so here we go. As you can tell, the turbo placement has shifted slightly from where I showed you last video. There's basically where it was in the last video. It was too close to this shock tower. Like there just was not enough room to where I could get this collector in here and make these pipes flow smoothly into it. So I just moved it back some, turned it a little bit, not a big deal. There's plenty of clearance around it. I still have enough room for a 4-inch down pipe to come out of it. Probably just gonna do a hood stack like I mentioned in the last video. But as you can tell, this is just tacked together. There's none of this is fully welded, but I'll have to break the tacks off the flange and the collector here so I can pull off these tubes individually and fully weld it. Once again, this is 304 stainless. It's schedule 40 1.5 inch. So it's pretty beefy, heavy duty manifold. It'll definitely be able to handle the task. This flange, I think I said it was a 3/8 flange last time, but it's actually 1/2 inch. It's way overkill. I don't know why I did that, but you know, I just wanted it to be strong, and it's definitely going to be that. So like I said, it's got a quick spool valve on it, so maybe I can try to attempt to spool this turbo reasonably well. We'll see how that works out, but yeah, I think it turned out all right. Sorry for the flash on this light here, but yeah. So let me pull this off and I'll put it on the bench so you can get a closer look at it, and I'll show you what else I got. All right, so this is what I got to show you. I'll go through each one of these one by one here. We'll start off here. This is a stock manifold. Not a whole lot to see here, but the biggest problem with the stock manifold and why you would want to get away from this is this mounting flange for your turbo. It's really small, as you can see. Like, I don't have big hands by any means, but this is like 1 3/8 inches across here. So if you're trying to make any sort of horsepower, you're restricted to flowing all of your exhaust air through 1 3/8 inches into your turbo. So the next restriction is, the problem is this flange or this bolt pattern is unique, at least to my knowledge. It's unique to this motor. So you can't like take a turbo off another car and swap it on here because this flange is different. It's not symmetrical, as you can tell. These two bolts are closer together here, if you can't see that. But yeah, anyway, the solution for this is your options on turbos are pretty limited because of that. So obviously it still has the EGR, so it uses the 5th. It's just a log style manifold here. It uses the 5th port here to run your exhaust gas through the head, if you didn't know that. So this is just a cast iron manifold. It's nothing special. It's got an EGT probe in here from the factory, so that's kind of nice. But like I said, not a whole lot to showcase here. It's stock manifold. The next option that probably most of you have seen, most of you know about, is this one here. It's from Whirly Fab. This is their T3. It's got a T3 flange on it. I have this adapter here to adapt it to a T4. It is a divided housing, which is super nice. It also retains the EGR if you want to use that, but it has like a pipe plug in here. So if you are deleted or whatever, you can just leave that in there and it won't flow any exhaust gas that direction. So super nice. This is also a stainless manifold, so it won't rust on you. Super nice piece. It still keeps the retains the EGT port right here. So this is also an option if you got a T4 turbo or whatever. There's multiple adapters to go from a T3 divided to pretty much anything, because this is a standard. A lot of turbos use the T3, T4 flange, so your options are way larger with that. Plus, You can also see with the stock turbo, the outlet faces 90 degrees down, and this one kicks your turbo up a lot more, so it flows, it doesn't have to turn 90 degrees. I don't know if that increases flow at all, but just the size of this versus this manifold, much greater. So obviously this one's going to be able to support a lot more horsepower. It's a better looking piece. This is an expensive piece though, so I'm sure you've seen the price of this online. I'm not saying I got a deal on this. I didn't actually. I paid the list price for this, so yeah, it's an expensive piece, but it is very nice. It's one of the better options on the market without going the full custom route. So the next option is this guy. This is obviously does not retain the EGR function, so this is going to be a full delete manifold. This one is from Diesel Power Products, I believe. I can't remember the name. Diesel Power Products. I'll link in the description. Drop a link to this. But this one is like less than half the cost of that one. So if you're interested in this, in the cheaper option, then this is probably the way to go. Different bolt pattern. They have their proprietary, they call it an F54 or F44 or F55 turbos that bolt to this. You can look that up on their website. I don't know anything about it, but they look pretty decent from what I could tell, and they're a little more economically priced. This does not have an EGT port on it. You could probably drill and tap this. This is pretty thick. This is cast iron, so it will rust. It will eventually look like the stock one over time, but for half the cost of that one, probably more like a third of the cost of that one, you can make a nice little piece. But the problem is your turbo is going to be top mount from that point. So because these face down, these are all oriented the same direction. This is all the front of the motor here and the back of the motor on the back side there. So yeah, this is going to convert you to a top mount turbo. They also make, the same company also makes a tubular manifold. So yeah, if you're interested in going that route, it is also does not include the EGR, but you can look into that as well. So yeah, that is an option for you if you're interested in that. And then of course, the full race piece over here. This is the one I just showed you on my car. I just took it off just to compare it. But yeah, these are the options that I got for you guys. I hope I answered as many questions as you had with these. If you don't, or if I didn't, and you do have questions, please drop them in the comments. This one, also the Whirly Fab one, does have provisions for the stock heat shield. So if you're wanting to retain the stock heat shield, you can do that as well. This is a good like OEM replacement. Like if you're wanting to put a bigger turbo on there and say you're, running deleted or whatever, like this is a good option for you. The reason I didn't put this manifold on my car is because that shock tower is in the way. Like with the thickness of this and how far it sticks out, you can see the height difference of all these. But with as far as this thing sticks out, the turbo would run right into the shock tower. So I couldn't use this, unfortunately. I would have loved to use this. It would have made this job a lot easier. But yeah, it just wouldn't fit on my application. So maybe on the truck, I don't know, because I could still retain the EGR function. Like my truck isn't deleted. I'm still running full emissions on. So maybe I can come up with an option for this on the truck. But I didn't really buy it with an intention of running it on anything, but maybe in the future I can, put it on the shelf and utilize it sometime in the future, but we'll see. If I could fit it on the car, I would love to do some turbo testing that way, but unfortunately this is just, I did bolt this on the car and there's like 4 inches between this flange and the shock tower, so there's no way I could fit any type of turbo in there or anything, unless I had like some kind of 90 degree, like something ridiculous to turn this up so I can get the turbo up high enough, but there's no way it'll fit. So anywho, yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions about any of these. All right, you guys, well, that's all I got for this episode. Coming up, I'm gonna work on welding this manifold the rest of the way up. Shouldn't take me too long. And then I'm gonna start working on an intake manifold. That's my next project. I'm not running a stock intake manifold. I don't have a stock intake manifold. I'm not really interested in running a stock intake manifold, so I'm gonna be working on that project next, and that'll be coming up soon. So let me get this welded up, and then as soon as I get that intake manifold rolling, I'll come back to you with another video. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching.